Welcome to Getting to the Truth in This Art. I'm Rob Lee from MTR Podcasts, and I have a guest with me today. I'm welcoming Lindsey Golden from the Golden Dance Experiment.
Hi, yeah, it's good to see you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. It's great. You're within the top 10 of our guests. You're like number 9.
Oh my gosh, thank you. That's so cool.
So hopefully this goes somewhere. We're going to have like a good conversation here about dance, about art, about Baltimore, and we talk a bit about the Golden Dance Experiment. So tell us a little bit about your...
So let's see here. I have been dancing since I was 3. I was grown up, I did very strict ballet.
Okay.
I still was able to get a jazz class or a modern dance class. Those are 2 different types of styles and technique and dance.
Okay.
I was able to squeeze one of those in, but we had to do ballet all week. When I was in high school, all I did was homework and ballet. And, didn't smoke until I was 18, oh wow, marijuana is actually kind of good.
Those milestones.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. But it was cool. It taught me a lot of discipline, and I am so thankful for it. Like when I was younger, I would be like, oh, this is so exhausting. This is so hard. Yeah. But I'm really, really happy that I learned. I had to have a big work ethic because of it and the discipline. And then when I went off to college, I studied. I was a double major, so I studied justice studies, which was focused on the global policy. But then I also studied theater and dance.
Okay.
And because I knew I needed that. I wanted to learn a little bit about the world, and then I really wanted to keep dancing. So I switched to a contemporary dance type of focus, because that's what their dance program is. It's mostly contemporary. I still was able to fit in a little ballet, but it was mostly, I was like the ballet queen there, because no one was like a ballerina there. So I would actually bring my point shoes out to non-point classes, being okay, this is what I like to do. But modern dance, I loved it so much. That's why I went there. I went to James Madison University, and they just had a really good contemporary modern dance program there. And I got into all the top companies, and I was having so much fun. And I got to do a study abroad program in London.
Wow!
And that was awesome. And I got to be the party organizer, social coordinator or something like that. Whatever they want to give you the name. As I took it as find cool parties for people to go to, and I did. I did a great job.
What's the brass tacks of what I'm doing here?
Yeah, well, I wanted the girls to see some cool parties. I knew that they wouldn't, if they didn't get told, they would just kind of go back to where we're supposed to be spending the evening, and that's it, and kind of just staying quiet. But I've researched all the coolest clubs that are in the city, or we could walk to, or take transport to, and so much fun. I danced literally, would wake up and go to dance class. Then we would have afternoon dance class, which is whatever you chose. Morning was with the company, and then I get to try my own dance. And then in the evening I go out dancing. I wasn't eating very much either, because I wanted to spend my money on partying instead of eating food. So
as well one does.
I brought a backpack filled with these Lara bars that are protein through dates and things like that. It's this kind of organic food bars, and these little individual vitamin packlets. That kept me going. I was making sure I wasn't gonna die. And they gave us breakfast for free, so I always really hit that hard. And then I was able to go to all this cool stuff. But after college, I knew I wanted to continue to pursue dance. Started out dancing in D.C., which has a fabulous dance scene, modern dance especially, really good. And then I moved to Baltimore, actually to study. I moved to Baltimore because I loved it. Yeah. When I went to visit Baltimore before I moved there, I was blown away because of how cool it was. I liked the vibe. I thought it was cool, the fact that it's okay, organic is like what it's all about with modern dancer, and like it's more organic movement. I feel like this whole city is like organic. You can do whatever you want with it. Like you're
Yeah.
like it's yours to make, and it's exciting, and the art is so vivid and beautiful.
Yeah.
There's so much art here. You know, it's I heard that Baltimore is like #1 for art in the country right now.
I
Like
mean, it
I'm
makes
not.
sense.
It's there's so many artists here. That's why I love it, and that's why I moved. Came here for law school, but I liked the fact that I was in this cool party city. But then I realized that I just wanted to dance, so I stayed and danced. And I was going to UB, but you know, I needed to dance more. I decided that was the best chance. You know, I didn't have to go into debt, which was nice.
Yeah,
I
well,
was gonna have to
obviously.
take out like 100 grand before, and then I made the decision because I was like, I was working in a law firm just to see how I liked
Yeah.
it, and I liked the school, but I knew that it would be a bad choice. So before I had to go into debt, which was great, I pulled out and I started teaching. Like I taught a lot of yoga. I got certified when I was like 20, just as a thing to train for dancing, and it's great for that. So I taught yoga, and I started like a University of Baltimore contemporary dance company. That's what I called it, because that's what it was like at James Madison. They had like a contemporary dance company, and I wanted the students to have that because there was no dance at all at University of Baltimore. Like
Yeah.
it's just that's sad. So,
Yeah.
and that wasn't like part of their teaching or like anything professional. It was just me helping people learn how to dance. Like, and I taught them, you know, different techniques, and then I gave them like a photo shoot, like because you know just showing them what it's like to be in a company.
Yeah.
Like you know I handmade their costumes, and I got them into do a little black box theater performance at the Baltimore Theater Project.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not a full not like a full showcase, but just like a one dance that I got them to learn, and they did such a good job.
That's
and,
really cool.
Yeah, and after that, I really just wanted to start my own company, like with like harder stuff, because
Yeah.
before it was people that are new to dancing. You know, I want to make it easier so they
So-
can do it. I wanted to start going crazy, especially since I had been healing for that year, of, healing for my injuries, and then I knew I could take it to the next level with dancing and starting my own crew, and that's where I started Golden Dance Experiment, and it has been so much fun, and I have been really happy to be able to perform. I wanted like experience to be able to perform in all the big venues around
Yeah.
here, and I have like really I've gotten to a lot of them, and I hope to keep doing that. And there's some places I like to keep going back to, and
Yeah.
or there's some places that like they go out of business, and then they have a new business, and then you start going there.
I mean, it was really like cool to see like what you're doing and checking out your Instagram and just like
thanks.
seeing like what's out there. It's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I need to have you for an interview.
Yeah, I like to do some. I like to do just like I said, organic movement, organic style. Like it's gonna be something that's unique to yourself, and
I mean, my movement would be friggin' odd. I have like 3 left feet.
look. But you know what? If you had a good teacher, I bet that you could learn how to do some dancing. And I'm not saying you're gonna learn how to become like a Bolshoi, amazing ballerina, but I bet I could get you to do some
I'll be
dancing.
the largest ballerina ever. Holy shit.
I've actually seen a very like they had like a thing on I don't know online somewhere, and it was like a woman that looked like 300 pounds, and she was doing like really hard ballet.
Wow.
And I can't imagine how much harder it is with all that weight, because it's like that's one of the things that's nice about if you're a ballerina, like if you have that ballerina body, which is like no fat,
Yeah.
just like a really tiny little twig, like they have so much less weight to have to lift up, and
Yeah.
or to go on your toes, that's like so much pressure on your toe, so it's better to be tiny, most of it's nice if you're naturally that way,
Yeah.
because if you're not naturally that way, you have a lot of odds against you unless you're like amazing at like not eating and like dancing nonstop. Then I did that at one point, and it was not good. I was like, I was getting dizzy. I like needed to go to the local bar to get like a glass of grapefruit juice because I was teaching like
Give me something.
6 hours in a row and like doing rehearsals, and then I'm like, I'm dizzy. I don't know. And then I get like a drink of grapefruit juice we're next to all these like alcoholics. I'm like, I've been dancing a lot. Yeah, I need some now. I need some grapefruit juice.
So let's get into a few of these questions we have here. So I think one of them you touched on, but maybe if there's anything you want to add to it, we can add to it. But most important lesson you learned as a dancer.
Let's see here.
As I
Don't
smugly sip.
no that's a hard question. I guess always just don't let yourself get down. Keep your positivity
Okay.
because it's a hard market. It's not easy. People who do this, they do it because they love it, and it's not exactly like, oh yeah, I get my six-figure salary. No, and it's not the way it is. You have to work hard to be able to get just simple payments. Especially in Baltimore. Baltimore is a poor city. Like
Yeah.
for artists, it's just it's hard. So you have to really work at it and provide something really interesting that people will pay you to see. But I'm really in it more for just the art. Like, I mean, if it was the money for me, I wouldn't be doing it. I would be doing something else. So, I mean, to me, the joy of dancing here is so precious. It's so meaningful to me. So, and the people here are so, like, just they get excited
Yeah.
about it. Like when I go out and perform, I always have people afterwards just like glowing, just so excited about what they saw, and like
Yeah.
it's cool, and like bringing something new. Like I was talking to you earlier before this started, that some people that when I first came here didn't know like what modern dance was.
Yeah.
They never heard of that before, and they only knew of one type of dancer, and it was like more of an exotic type of style, or maybe a go-go dancer. But they didn't know anything about dance, and that's a huge art form that they're missing out on. So I try to like explain to them some of the different styles, and they all take so much. I mean, ballet is classical. Anything like a classical instrument is going to be taking up. That's going to be the hardest one.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. It's just classicals is hard, right?
Yeah.
But since I had the classical background, but I loved modern dance, when I was at school, I started getting into fusion work. So I'm now very much a fusion dancer.
Okay.
So I have my contemporary ballet. I prefer a little contemporary style than completely classical. That's just me. But then also modern dance, and then I like to do acrobatic stuff. So
Okay, yeah.
acrobatic yoga, or circus acrobatic partnering.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And I worked at a circus school teaching ballet and creative movement for a while, so I learned some really cool circus acro there, and met some cool people because of that. It's like, okay, so people standing on your shoulders, or like, like if someone's laying down and then their feet are up, and then you're like sitting on their foot, like perching up on them, and then like flipping back, like just lots of little. If you ever look up acro yoga or circus acrobatics, and you can see what I'm talking about. It is so fun. And then I also have gotten into doing aerials, which is circus type of movement. It's aerial dance. You're dancing up in the air, and there's different types of apparatuses. There's or apparati, I think would be.
Apparata.
Yeah. So I have something that's really cool because I can combine all three different aerial practices in one.
Yeah.
So I have like a stage that has a pole. That's a freestanding like pole that's just normal, right? So
Yeah.
but it's nice because I can travel around. So if I take half of the pole off, I have a big hoop that's like 3 feet, so that way it's like I can sit in it. It would be good for my height.
Yeah.
So you stick the hoop on top of the pole, and then you can go and hop up into the hoop and swirl and flip and like make beautiful shapes, and
Yeah.
and it's just and it's fun. You can hop down and then like swing back up again. It's like it's like pole dancing, but with a hoop on the top of it. Really, that's kind of what it is. It's they call it a lollipop lyra, or I call it aerial hoop. It's either way, but it's very hard. It's like a new challenging thing to work on.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I've been kind of incorporating some ballet to it. Because ballet is very helpful for pole dance, and since this is similar to that, it's helpful. Just some of the ways that you bring your leg around, called the rond de jambe, which is taking your foot around like a big capital D. Okay.
They will change that to my name, Ron DeJean.
Rond de jambe, what?
You've now tuned into the Ron DeJean.
That sounds pretty great, but yeah, I don't know. So I try to fuse a lot of stuff in. The project I've been working on this last year has all been about bugs.
Okay.
And which people, you're like, whoa, that's weird, it's gross. No, these bugs, it's really fun. Like I have a fly piece.
Okay.
That's on the lyra, the lollipop lyra.
Yeah.
and I just go up there. I keep going up and down like I'm flying, and then I come
You're
back
hovering,
down.
yeah.
And but in the beginning, because like we took my husband does a lot of videography, and we make videos for my dancing that we project onto our dancers,
Okay.
which is super cool. But
Yes.
I wanted to make a bunch of these dance videos to be able to do that with more projections, really very psychedelic. And so I've got a fly, and I got a giant fly mask with like really creepy eyes. It's fabulous. I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. And then I have a bumblebee piece that's on the lollipop as well. And that one, it has a ballet beginning, which is on point. It's a contemporary ballet, but
Sure.
it's a point piece, and with a little baby outfit. It's so cute. And then the next section of that piece is an aerial section. So it's like another dancer. She's doing an aerial piece to it, like flying and kind of zooming around, seeing her over, like, and then curling underneath, and it's just what you'd see as a bee doing. We're trying to really imitate the insects,
Yeah.
and then. I have a ladybug outfit that I think I might want to have one of my model friends do,
Yeah.
and like not really have it as like a heavy dancing number, but just like have like some really like attractive shots of her like walking, or just something simple.
Yeah.
Because we're making it into a video, so it doesn't have to all be like. I mean, I like that a lot of it's choreographed pieces because I can take those and perform all over the place with
Sure.
them. But this is for a video, so we can take little pieces of all of the parts and like. Splice them together, and so and I have a butterfly dress that the skirt is like a butterfly wing, so you can bring it out to the sides, and it's like you're a big butterfly. And
That's really cool.
Yeah, I got these little hair pieces that are LEDs. They're like flowers.
Yeah.
I thought that would be cool to like wear that and do a little dancing. I think like a lyrical piece would be pretty. That's like a combination between ballet and jazz.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what that would be.
It sounds like, at least in just, it's almost like it's not the same, but maybe the motion is some similarity there. Where when I think about kind of you talking about fusion and having like just different disciplines and skills that you've kind of merged into your own, like this is my identity as a dancer, as a creative, as an artist. It gives me that same vibe as like when you listen to like a martial artist when they talk about like my style is my style.
Yeah, or mixed martial arts too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love improv, and that's like what you're talking about right now,
Yeah.
like improvisational stuff. Like it's so much fun. I mean, you know it with music, I'm sure with jazz, but yeah, improv is a big thing to do, especially in contemporary dance. And they do structured improv sometimes, so
Okay.
there'll be like a couple structures to everything is on your own improv, like it's your organic movement, but you have to do 3 high movements, 3 movements on the ground, and 2 jumping things while you get across from one area to the other, and so that's just an example, like,
Yeah.
giving the structure to it. Or like, okay, let's go, like you're walking through tar, and then like, you're running from a big swarm of bumblebees,
Yeah.
and then you're doing this move, like you can like give all these fun little, and I do this with my teaching kids too,
Yeah.
because kids love this, especially ones that don't want to do anything, and they're like, I don't want to dance, I don't want to. And then I get them with these really fun like improvisational things,
Yeah.
because it's like you're playing, but it's okay to play and enjoy the movement. That's something, that's what I like doing to people who break them out of their shell. Like with you, if I wanted to get you dancing, I'd want you to do something to loosen you up first. And
I'm a very stiff individual.
you might be if you're a little bit nervous. That stiffens you right up.
Yeah.
My husband would not dance. When I first met him, I told him I was a dancer, and he's like, "Oh, I don't dance. I just mosh." And I was like, I'm like, right. I'm
gets
like,
it.
I think
Yeah.
you could dance. I'm like, I think I'm gonna make you dance. So I made him to come over, and like this is when I was leaving my parents' house because I was just leaving school and
Yeah.
everything. And she has a dance studio. My mom made one for me in the basement, and so I like taught him. I like made him just stand there and shake his arms out and just shake and just do something really crazy and just
Yeah.
be like, "Wah!" and just like yell and I'm like, just do the craziest thing you can do, just totally silly,
Yeah.
just get all that nervous energy out. It really helps.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love it. And then you can start doing just the easy. I had to teach him how to do a 2-step. Seriously, like, just step touch.
I
Like,
mean, my 2-step game is
it's pretty. Is it pretty
crisp.
good?
It's
Well,
pretty crisp.
see, you already are
That's
on
the only
level
thing I
above.
have. That's the only thing I have.
I'm telling you, I have a lot of experience teaching people who are like, I will not dance. I cannot dance. I was like, no, I take this as a challenge.
That's the thing. Like that happens sometimes where like my girlfriend will point out because she was into dance and she really appreciates and really loves dance, and every now and again it'll be some older person that we'll see in a market or in like a liquor store or something, and music will come on and I'm like tapping my foot and doing a little bit more than tapping my foot to it. And I don't think anyone's seeing my 6'4" frame. And it's like, oh, I like a little dance you're doing. I was like, shit.
I just taught my dancers how to do like a 6-step the other day. It was hilarious. I hadn't done one in a little while, but it was fun. And just teaching them how to do like a baby freeze, just like some of these simple stuff. Oh, and I like turtle spins. I don't know. I call them that. I'm not sure if that's what it's really called. Like I just made it up. I'm not a break dancer. I just think that they're cool. I like break dancing.
Turtle
spins. Oh, so turtle spin. So you're sitting down, okay?
Yeah.
I take one of your legs, like take your right leg, and you're gonna swirl it like from the side, and then tuck into your chest. So you're spinning first on your tailbone, like upright, but you let yourself fall to your back, and then you're spinning on your back like a turtle.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
It's very fun. I love it. I hope I explained that right. But you end up spinning on your back really, really fast. Like if you a turtle like got kicked over and like someone decided to spin it. Like that's kind of.
I had some exercise goals. I look at all of these movements so far as like exercise. Like, before lifting weights, 2 turtle spins, sir. 2 turtle spins.
Yeah,
Get this blood flowing.
No, it's so fun. Oh my god, I love it. Yeah, I tried to teach people a lot of fun movements as well as the harder, technical, like exhausting things that people are like, no, I don't want to do this.
I'm lazy. I'm
laziness.
lazy.
You got to figure out how to reach those people so that way they can get moving and like learn the love and the joy of movement. That's really what it is. It's hard for some people, though. Some people just don't.
I can see it with myself. Like, I'll be asking, like, because I do this in almost like any educational setting, because I'm always invested. That's the reason I'm there. But I need to have fun with it somehow. I'll say like questions that have nothing to do with it. It's like, oh, well, we're going to do this motion. It's like, so will microphones be involved in any way? Just start asking just questions that are not pertinent, but I need to have fun with it.
No, I think fun is important. I went to a very strict ballet academy, and it drove me to hate ballet. Like I love it now, but it's because I went to college where the ballet teacher was a modern dancer, and she wanted us to have joy in our movement and feel the joy of the movement. And she and I got along great because she's an older lady. She was a modern dancer. She wasn't as like into like ballet technique all the time. So like she would go to me and I would like be like, oh yeah, it's this, and I'd show her like which moves or like what names were and do it on point and everything. She made me feel inspired, and then I inspired other girls to start bringing their point shoes in and like actually like trying to up the game, which is cool. I like that.
It's an interesting thing is like so far I get it. I get the positive energy, the resonation that's coming off of you. It's like, yeah, man, everything's good, man.
Yeah, positivity is so vital for anything. And if you're an athlete, I mean, dance is athlete. It's art and it's athletes. It's very much connected, but I don't know. I think it's impossible if you're not ready to take it to the both lengths. You have to be an athlete if you're going to be an artist like that, like a performing artist. You can't just kind of like, you can have great ideas, but if you don't constantly practice and like get in good shape, like you're never going to be able to do them. So you have to kind of like push yourself really extra hard, to just get that strength and that mobility and also just understanding, because you might be moving really fast. There might be a very complicated piece, just like in jazz, I mean, it might be like, yeah, like you don't.
Wow. That brings me to my next question. Like, what other hidden talents do you possess? Sounded like jazz right there.
Oh my God, yeah, right.
What the name of Miles Davis is going on here?
Oh right. Oh my God, I do actually I like listening to jazz music. I think it's lovely, and I'm not like a connoisseur or anything, but I do enjoy it. I like a Miles Davis. Like, that's pretty like classic.
I'm gonna throw one for you that you might want to look up.
Okay.
It was, I think it's a four-piece set from Charles Mingus that was done for ballet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and this is like in 1960. It's called Black Saint and the Center Lady.
Okay.
It's really, really good. Strong horns in it. He's a double bassist, and it's like 4 tracks, but they're all like super long, what have you.
Yeah, I like
And
stuff like that though.
but yeah, it's. I think you might be into it. It's good.
Yeah,
And
no, I like those really crazy jazzy old '60s like rockers that will like
Yeah.
they'll go on for like 30 minutes, you know. And I love it. I used to take the dance studio, I'd go down, turn the lights down low, put these like blankets on the studio floor, and
Yeah.
like put on these old records that my mom would have from years like Captain Beefheart, like crazy
Yeah.
music. And my friends and I would just zone out and just like be listening to this wild music, and it's fun, you know. I like it when it gives you something to think about. That was one of the things I started at, is like when I started Golden Dance, I wanted it to really be about like the creativity and being able to enjoy all these different styles together, and just really trying to always push yourself to be more creative and do things differently. You don't always just do the same moves all the time, and like don't let yourself flatten out and just, you know, oh, I did that last year, I can just do the same thing. Like I try to make things each year, like do something that I haven't been able to do, you
Yeah.
know, so I can learn something new that year and be excited about, you know.
add it to the repertoire. What have you.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have jazz on there as a talent that you possess.
I play the flute, but I'm not good. But I do play the flute for fun.
I'll put flute on here as well. Is
I
that-
have a bunch of hand drums that I used to love to have jam sessions like with my stoner friends. Like it would just be like 5 guys with my I had a 4-foot bong, a glass bong, and then I'd have like I'd use my K oscillator and like make like beats,
Yeah.
or I would have my bongos and like you know, like shakers,
Yeah.
and you know, give people. I'd have people and I'd give them like little like stuff out. Like here's a shaker, here's a tambourine, here's a wood block. Like, you know, like I just had
So,
like.
band arranger, multi-instrumentalist. I'm listening, and it's like,
No, that's just me having fun. but I would say the director is something that I can do. I
Totally.
can direct well. Like I help
oh,
my
you told me to straighten up. When
That's
you came, it's like, yeah,
right.
put your head down. It's like,
Yeah, right. Look, I can be very strict, like with the ballet. I'm a strict lady, but I really think having fun, even when it's a strict environment, is important, because, and I think that positive reinforcement is very important, because going to a place where it's really strict with ballet, you can really feel bad about yourself, and like especially with like weight issues, you know, if you're not 80 or 90 pounds, like 100 pounds, and you're like, oh yeah, I was like 115 pounds, and I was like the fat girl, like, and that's not fat, but I thought it was at the time,
No,
you
yeah.
know, but you know, I'm not like crazy anymore. I like know that that's insane. So, but it was true, you know. It's like, oh, where's the biggest costume? Oh, this for this giant lady right here, you know. And
I mean, in regular life, every time it's like, yo, do we have? Because I'm self-deprecating and all that
me
stuff.
too.
I always do this bit. I was like, oh, do you have this in curtain size? Like, can we just like stitch these curtains together? It's like,
I
wow.
almost would prefer that than some of the costumes I've had to wear for jazz performances. Like one time I had to wear a full body suit that was like kind of like shiny, which I don't think is very attractive. Very shiny, black, and then it had these like long strings of red, like just attached to the arms, and we had to have our arms extended out and just like shaking our hips, like smiling, like looking like complete idiots.
like,
Like it was terrible. I hated it so much, and I was a kid, so I like couldn't like be like, I'm not doing this. You know,
This is
now as an
whack.
adult, I could just say this isn't my thing. But oh my god, I couldn't wait to stop taking that ladies jazz class. I was like, I need to take another one, and then I started taking street jazz, and that's way better. Or like Las Vegas jazz. That's like a lot of technique and a lot of sassy attitude, which is also fun.
I mean, I have a little sassy attitude.
Well, there you
just,
go.
Just very little though.
You might
very
be able to do
little.
a little bit of street jazz, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I would do my instrumentation, I do all of that, and but yeah, definitely, I definitely resonate with
I
Charles
also like
Mingus.
belly dancing. I'm not like a master of it, but I used to do these Bollywood shows.
Okay.
And I would watch Bollywood like on like little on YouTubes and stuff,
Yeah.
and like watch their technique and get like kind of the style. And I already had taken some master classes in belly dance before, so I knew a little bit about like classical ballet dance, just how to. It's actually very much improvisational. Like,
Really?
Now there are certain belly dance styles that have like a technique to them. But I took this class from this like world-renowned belly dancer, and she was saying how it's been around forever and how all women can make it their own. Like you can, like, it's like you're telling your story with your hip or your shoulder or your elbow or your head, like extending them in different ways and swirling them in different ways, and just isolating your hips or your chest. It's like, but it's all coming from you, and it's very, very cool. I like that improvisational style. And it's just fun. Like the costumes are so beautiful with all the beads and
Just a lot of colors there too.
yeah. And one of my dancers, she used to do henna on people too. Like she was really good at that. So we had a lot of fun. I haven't done one in a while. They stopped throwing them, but I do miss it. The Bollywood, it was cool. But that's another example of fusion, because I would do a fusion between like Bollywood or belly dance and ballet or classical, like, or not classical, sorry, or contemporary. Like add some leaps and things like that they don't really do in belly dance. Add some turns, like maybe a little fancy partnering. I love throwing people around. It's very fun.
I do too. I mean, I think for different reasons. Like, get out of here, you.
Oh yeah. I'm more like, here, I'm gonna throw you up my shoulder, swirl you around, then I'll take you back down, and then I'm gonna slide you over here, and then I'll do a little flip over you, and like stuff like that. Or like I've been flipping people. Like one of my piece, we hook arms, and then you just do a backflip over the person, and it's very fun. It's like kind of like a swing dancey type move.
You were talking about we were talking about wrestling a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And what you're describing, it's similar to is they call it it's a Instagram account called like Scientific Wrestling, and it's like talking about like that mat wrestling and all of that stuff, and just showing like leverage and body movement and all of that. And there's correlation there. Like one wouldn't think like, oh, this is a like dance is it's a soft, like arty, is not. No, it's physical. It's super physical.
So physical. Oh my god! Like there's a lot of floor work in modern dance. In certain styles, but because there's a lot of different styles of modern dance, but oh man, the floor work is beautiful. But you're rolling all over the place. You're throwing your body over. You're landing hard on the ground. You're spinning. You immediately you're shoving your body in one direction and then like doing a back roll into another direction. Like you just don't stop, and like a lot of like really intense like log rolls kind of like across the stage. I mean, you can have bruises like all over the place.
Yeah, because like and again like. I try to compare it to something that I'm more familiar with, I guess. Like, when they train someone to like do wrestling or what have you, like they like learn how to fall. You know, and it's like this placing all of the, I guess, the impact on your shoulders, and then you're working to build up your shoulders so you have a lot of shock absorption and the muscles around it. And you'll see like someone in a match, it's like, you've fallen on your shoulders like 20 times in this match. How are you moving around? I fall down once. It's like,
is there a good mat? I mean, having a good mat is important. I have like a tumbling mat because I've had too many injuries, so I'd rather have a really awesome mat. Like, it's for tumbling.
Worst injury you've had? Loaded question.
Yeah, I've had so many. Probably when I flew down a flight of stairs, and my one of my vertebrae went to the side, like, so it wasn't a normal like line anymore. And that happened when I was like, contemplating like leaving law school, but I was also like really hurt, so I was like, oh well, my dreams are gone. So,
back to this desk, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But I was doing a lot of physical therapy, but I also took upon myself to help myself out with yoga. And how I was saying I was teaching yoga at that time when I was too injured to dance. That's why I was teaching the university girls, because I thought I wanted them to know the joy, and I wanted to still be involved with dancing, but I just couldn't do like. I lost the feeling in my feet, like, and then they came back all like nails, and it was all messed up. I mean, it was very painful, and I had to be on like pain medicine for a while. I mean, it was a really serious injury. But I don't know. I also had like 5 concussions, so I feel like I've had a lot of bad injuries.
So you were playing football at one point as well. Let's put this other skill down.
No, that's what it's similar to, except we don't get any of the pads. We don't get the helmets. Like, we are throwing each other around. Like, you have to learn the technique so you don't get hurt. I mean, I can do a ton of different stuff that looks like really scary, but you know what you're doing. Just like us, like a wrestler, right? Yeah. But it is very. I mean, I separated my clavicle from my shoulder once. That was was also really horrible. It was a very similar
Stunt
injury.
woman.
Yeah, it's a similar injury to people that play lacrosse and football. Like
Yeah.
a lot of my injuries are like hardcore, like physical, intense things, and then being dropped on my head twice. That's concussion time. Stings. Why do you think I got the mat?
So you're tackling people, and okay. I'm listening. Like, you're saying one thing, when I'm hearing like you're also a safety.
I do. I'm very much about safety,
Yeah.
but when I was younger, I wasn't as much, and I would let my choreographers really abuse me in terms of like my husband calls it not my body syndrome because it's not their bodies, and so they're like, do it again, do it again, do it again.
like, no.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, I got to do it perfectly every time. I got to go all the way, and like that's when I was younger, and I know now that that's like really dangerous because you can hurt yourself and then you're out of the game forever, and it sucks.
Then the question what I would have is how big of a thing in your experience is that this notion of like not necessarily perfectionism, but like having the
ballet
desire
is all
to
about perfectionism. That's like it's about being perfect, and that's why it'll drive you crazy because no one's perfect. You can never achieve perfection, but that is what it's about. Like,
scared to watch Black Swan as a result.
oh my God, it's so beautiful. We should watch it anyway.
I will.
Or watch a ballet. Like just look at any ABT, American Ballet Theater. Just
Okay.
watch something that they've done. Anything they do is going to be good.
Okay.
Seriously, just see the athleticism. It's amazing. They're just flying, and it's like I feel like they're flying more than I am when I'm in the air, like on a lollipop. I feel like I'm more flying when I used to be a big jumper. Before I've been injured, like big giant leaps, and just like when I was really young, I was like such a hopping being. I did gymnastics for a while too.
Yeah.
So I would do like these, cheerleaders do toe touches. It's like they jump up and their legs go out from each to the side.
Yeah.
I would do like 10 in a row just for fun, like just to show my friends. I'm like, look guys, look what I can do. And just like a crazy. I just had so much energy and like just loved to just go. I would do 10 back handsprings in a row all the time to show my grandma. I'd be like, Grandma, look, I can do it. Like, and she'd be like, okay, I'm already tired watching you.
So someone asks me to do like, hey Rob, can you say 10 things on the podcast? Nah, I give you 5. I don't really have a lot of energy for that.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, Lindsay's over here just like jumping.
Yeah,
I got
no,
this.
I was such a hopper. But I think I can one day become a hopper again because I had like a brain injury, which is the worst injury I think I've ever had. It's just different than like smashing yourself. It's the white matter in my brain started swelling, so it was like my body, my head couldn't communicate to my legs what to do, so I was paralyzed for a full month.
Wow,
And
scary.
yeah, and they didn't think I was going to perform again. They didn't even know if I was going to walk again. I was in a wheelchair, and then they got me to the walker, and they kind of were like, okay, like that's you, like, and I was like, no, that's not it. Are you kidding? So every time I go to their stupid physical therapy that did nothing,
Yeah.
I would go home and do my own physical therapy, and I would crawl around the house. Like I had a pole, a strip pole in my house that I would use it to have balance, and I'd
Sure.
like climb up so I could actually stand because I had no balance,
Yeah.
I mean, and I couldn't walk literally. So I'd use that, and I'd crawl, and I would sit on my bed and just like try to lift my legs up and one at a time. I would do that every day, and I worked so hard on just getting better. And I've been doing that for the past 2 years. It's just been like getting healing, and I've been performing this, I think, for like a year and a half. There was like maybe a 6-month period that I was just like trying not to like fall over, but then I started to be able to do some movement again, and I had to take it one day at a time and figure out where I could push my body to. But I'm very cautious, but I've been performing a lot, and I'm really happy. So I'm like, you can do it. When I see people feel like they can't do it after an injury, I just want to tell them they can, because there's so many wonderful ways that you can rehabilitate yourself. And then being positive is so important. Because if I listened to them, I would not be walking, I wouldn't be dancing, and I would be very sad. And I'm really glad that I had all those years of training, being a yoga teacher, being a dance teacher, being a performer. Like that's a lot of, like I also would do personal training sometimes, like in the yoga. Like it's just, that gave me so much knowledge that I could actually help myself,
Yeah.
because the therapy they gave me was doing nothing,
And at a point, like you kind of have a better idea. Like, again, going back to wrestling, it was a guy who he would do some of the more really dangerous stuff, like stuff that you can't really brace yourself for, like throwing off
Yeah.
of like 20-foot high
Oh
steel
my
cages and
God,
things
that's
like
really
that.
scary.
And one of the things he would say, he's like, yeah, I've taken a lot of injuries, a lot of bad injuries, and he's just like, but I know how my body works, and he's just like, I know what it can take and what it can take, and I push it as far as I can. I mean, he has some health issues now, but it's
Sometimes it's just like
years of doing it.
Yeah, that's how I am too. And I when I was younger, I used to just like push myself like crazy, and like I said earlier, I would just do it. Not my body. I'd just be throwing. We had to run and then fall straight forward, and then immediately like you like hop up. So you go down, you push yourself to hop like a flying squirrel,
Yeah.
and then you curl to like start like rolling really fast. So like
Wow.
you just flop high and then roll really fast, and we had to do it like 20 times. It was insane, and I ripped my ligament in my wrist like just a couple of days later after doing that.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Fucking
that,
ouch.
that hurt really bad. It took a while to heal too. So yeah, I could be like, we could do like a special Lindsay hour of like, let's talk about all my injuries, but let's not. I have so many, but I'm careful at this point.
Just thinking of a map, like the body layout is like
It's
injury
like
here,
everywhere.
injury here.
Yeah. I've broken my foot in the metatarsal twice.
I've not had any breaks. I've not had any injuries. I've lost my voice podcasting. That's the only injuries we get as podcasters.
Oh yeah,
Just
Does
losing
it
my
hurt?
voice.
Does it hurt? Okay, well I'm not gonna feel pity on you.
I like BS through it. I just played like another podcast while the mics are on.
What
It's
about
like,
some hot tea or some honey or something?
that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, that was last week.
You should do that. That would be good for you. There's like throat coat teas. I like doing that.
I have some of that actually at home.
Yeah, it's good. Tea is amazing.
But we don't
Love
get
it.
injuries here. We don't get injuries in
Yeah,
podcast
well, that's
land.
good. I'm trying not to. I mean, the lollipop is definitely dangerous. I mean, you're up and high. I mean, you're like 6 feet high, and then if you like get onto the hoop, then like you're like 9 feet high if you look over. So it's not that scary, but it like you're.
It's not a small drop.
Yeah, no, it isn't. One of my dancers did fall during a performance. Luckily, she fell in a great way, and she didn't get hurt. Like she fell like on her side, like curled. So it was like a lot of padded parts
Yeah.
to fall on, which is good. Nothing at the head, nothing with the neck, just like on her arm, kind of like that. So, but I haven't seen anyone fall off since. But it's still really scary. I don't like that. I try to kind of take it on the safer side every time, because it's just worth my health. I don't feel like having to go to the hospital, and there's so many beautiful things you can do without like risking your life, and
Absolutely.
and then you just keep practicing and do it a little bit at a time, and then it works out.
Yeah, you can just start that career in jazz and just
Yeah, my skibbity scap scoop out.
See.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready for the album. So
Maybe I should. Who knows? We actually do music because it's like, who likes to have to pay for rights for music? I don't. So, so like we make sometimes. My husband and I will make our own tracks for my pieces, which is kind of cool. So then it's like a whole like presentation in a little box. Like we do, projections, and then we do the music and then the choreography and sometimes even the costumes. Recently, though, I've been buying costumes. I'm not really a seamstress.
Slacking.
I know, right? I wish that I could be an amazing seamstress. I'm sure if I worked on it, I could, but I just, I've made a couple things before. I'm just not that good at it.
Yo, seamstress.
I'm sorry.
Hit her up. Hit Lindsay up. Do it. Come on, collaboration. That's what part of this show is about, collaboration and working with others.
Know. Well, look, I love working with people. I love teaching people dancing, and I love collaborating with people. And like, I don't have to be the person that's always in charge. Like, it's just when my company I'm in charge, but I don't mind if we're doing a collaborative dance. Like, I want to hear what they have to say, and sometimes I like to do, if we're planning it together, and then obviously I want them to do half the work. I don't see a lot of people that do a lot of choreography. Like, they're like more like dancers, and then they like to receive the choreography. So luckily I like to dance and I like to choreograph, so it works out for me. Like, I really have a lot of fun making up dances. It's every year, I make up, I don't know, like 14 new dances at least. Sometimes like Unfortunately, they're not all captured on video, which is too bad because I've done so many shows. But it's okay. I still have a lot of video that's enough, and it's just you just want to see how you did.
Yeah, game tape. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, how bad was that?
I
But
mean, that's kind of.
people came out to us and they were happy and they were like, that was so great, I loved it. So that makes me feel good and like less like, was I terrible? Like like I said, you worry about stuff like that. Like, oh, did I just make a fool of myself or
That's what I do, especially with what I try to do with podcasts and all of this stuff. Like that stage is in there. We did our 10th anniversary show there, and the lights were like blaring, so I really couldn't see the audience. And I was like, this is a plus because I have no idea how I'm doing. I was like, I'm saying odd shit, I'm saying wild shit, and we got the video of it and saw the game tape, and I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't that bad because I don't know what to do with my body most of the time. I'm like, oh, I'm doing this. It's just
then
I'm
you should
throwing my
have
arms.
me come. You should have me next time. I can
Okay.
move your body and like stretch and like, okay, move it here and move your shoulder this way.
Like, yeah, positive energy, Rob. So
Just slowly just get your body so it's nice and tall and like elongated,
I try to hide myself. I try to make myself the smallest big guy possible.
You should try to like just elongate. You'll look beautiful. I mean, I'm just saying, you'll look nice. Shoulders down, slightly back, and it'll be good for your spine too.
Noted. Meanwhile, I'm just hunched over like a
Yeah, you're like.
like
No, it
an
feels
ogre.
good. It's like sometimes like I catch myself like hunching over, and then I just like stretch and just kind of push my chest out forward, and then bring it back in, and I can feel it go like little clicks of my spine, because I can tell that I've been hunching.
Because I have costochondritis.
Oh, okay.
So
What's that?
it's a rib cage inflammation.
Oh, geez.
So literally the ribs around like my heart pop.
Oh my God.
So like if I stretch this arm back, you'll hear a loud pop. And I was like, that's not great. And people were like, I heard that. I was like, sorry.
I have stuff that pops like when when I'm stretching, but it's not like a painful pop. It's like that's a good pop. Like if I move my legs to a split and it's like I'm sore that day, it's like pop, but that's fine. Nah, it's like a relieving pop, I like doing the splits. Some people are like, oh, this is painful. Like, but for me, I've been doing them for so long. It's like painful to not do the splits. Like
I've done the splits once.
Really?
It was ice.
Which kind?
It was ice
middle,
related,
middle. Oh, yeah, bad.
Yeah, I just remember, I didn't get much applause or fanfare. I just had my brother step over me. He's like, "Oh yeah, you good?" And just walk over me. I was like, "That's pretty screwed up."
While you're eating ice cream?
No, I was delivering grocery. A gift. Sorry, I was delivering gifts. It was like holidays, and it was some black ice I didn't see, and it was just full. And he's like, "Yeah, you're good." And just steps over me and says hi to everyone else.
That's nice.
I was like, "Appreciate that, really."
Did you slip into a split? Is that what happened?
Yes.
That happened to me one time when I was in elementary school. I was playing some soccer or something like that, and I remember like diving for something and like going to like a perfect split. It was like in that movie. Where like Julia Roberts plays not Julia Roberts, Gina Davis plays the softball player.
Oh, a League of Their Own?
Yeah. And there's no crying in baseball. That's how it is in ballet and in
There's no
modern
crying in
dance.
ballet.
Yeah, no, that's not how it is at all. And I had a lot of. I worked for a Russian ballet group for a little bit. They're very strict there too. But then my dancers did the English style, but they were still so strict. They were so harsh on us. That's the only thing is like I'm so happy that I kept going because I knew girls that I danced with for years that just stopped dancing because it wasn't fun for them anymore because it was just like drill sergeant time, make you feel crappy. It's like, I never do that. I've taught for years and I always seeked out like the person that isn't connecting, that isn't flowing, and make sure that they start to connect and start to like it. Like I've done that many times where like the girl that she seems totally just not into it, she maybe looking just kind of like scared. I like to focus on them and try to show them that they can have fun. And then all of a sudden there's smiles happening, there's movement happening, and it's like from the before it's like you wouldn't even see her even give it a try.
Yeah.
And so and of course I also I nurture the ones that are already like really talented. Clearly I'm not going to ignore anybody, but I'm just saying I always like to pay special attention to people that maybe are having a hard time connecting with my class.
Well, that's a plus. I guess the last thing we'll do here, because I told you I'd keep you for however long.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
So, social media, where can they find you? All of that good stuff. Basically, shameless plug time.
Okay, so Instagram.
But can you do it through dance, though?
I could, but
Yeah,
they won't
Instagram
be able
through
to
dance.
see me. So
Yeah, see? Mine's eye, no.
I would totally should. Next time we should do it on a live webcam, and I can be like, look at this.
I'm for it.
Okay, let's see. Wait, what was the question one more time?
Social media, where can they find you? All this
Okay,
stuff.
so Instagram is at Golden Dance Experiment. Yeah. And then that's the same name that you put in for Facebook. It's my Facebook page is the Lindsey Golden Project. But you know how like they have like a at whatever that's so it's at Golden Dance Experiment, and so you can find the page. So the Lindsey Golden Project. I started that before I even started the Baltimore University Contemporary Dance Company. I started that just as a kind of an outlet for all my art. Like,
Sure.
You know, just I used to write poems a lot and like songs and and show different photos and just this artistic dance stuff and so but then then later like a year later I formed Golden Dance Experiment, and I didn't want to have to like have another new website, so I just kept the Lindsey Golden Project and just say home of the Golden Dance Experiment. That's like the home of where the company goes and
absolutely
so that's it. Instagram and Facebook. I have a Twitter, but I really don't use it, so I'm not gonna say anything about
Twitter's
that.
out.
I mean I don't know what to say on it. I feel like the only thing I know about is like the people like yell a lot about politics on it, and I just don't feel like yelling about it right now. I engage in discussion, of course, and I'm very much interested in our in our state and everything.
Sure.
But I just don't have anything to like gripe about online.
You know what grinds my gears? No.
Yeah, my husband is like all about that. Like he is so he very much. We're both political junkies. Like we both really like politics. It's just I just don't feel like writing about it online, and some people do. Like, haha.
Like, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's good though to teach people, but some people don't want to be taught. But it is still good to try to open people up to new ideas and everything, especially if you've never been exposed to those ideas and you don't know. But I find it frustrating because it's like I don't like to talk with someone where there's a zero-sum game. You will always disagree, so I'm not gonna really waste my time with that.
Like so, you like, it's that thing I used to say. Well, actually, I still say it. It's like people have an opinion and they let their opinion have them, and I think a lot of times people let their opinion have them.
Yeah, you got to be open in case you're actually wrong about something, which is okay. It's
going to happen a lot, actually.
Yeah, no, the guys that can't permit that they're never wrong usually are wrong a lot. Or ladies, guys or ladies, doesn't matter either way, but. I know some people that are like that though. They just think that their word is bond and that like they can't admit. And then there's something that comes out that's like so obviously, okay, yeah, sorry, we were right about this. Like there's like silence, and that's sad because you should be able to accept if you were like, okay, maybe I was on the wrong page there, and I'm glad that I now know what's up.
Just my position's evolved or whatever. Just use that.
I
but
wish people could chill out a little bit. I don't know, but it is really scary what's happening in America. So I mean, I'm not chilling about that, but I just don't want people like constantly just fighting each other. It's not fun.
I mean, I'll just say everybody smoke a little weed.
Yeah,
chill out a little bit.
I agree. Yeah. I need to make a weed dance. That would be hilarious. I need to make like a ode to weed. Like,
I mean,
that'd be pretty sweet.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Maybe everyone we can make a video and like everyone could be getting really high during it. And,
yes.
That'd be great. That would be a really fun video. And then I have a dance studio in my apartment or my condo. It's like I got my full mirrors and I got nice wood floors, so I teach there too, and I rehearse there. It's great, but it's fun to make videos there. And we have green screens and we have white screens and we have all sorts of crazy lighting.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Actually.
It is, but that would be fun. Like if I had some kind of dance where I took like certain elements of like why I like to smoke or something, or certain elements of weed, and then like transform them into movement, and then like having you guys being like smoking up in the back, like that would be pretty sweet.
Actually,
yeah, I might have to like consider doing this.
We should talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, because we have so many fun lights and everything, and like I have all these fun like UV bras and like UV like leg wraps and like glasses, and people can just be all like dolled up and like and then I have a light that's like an LED light that flashes. I put at the bottom of my stage, which like kind of gives it a little flash. So that would be really fun. I think I might have to do that one day.
Yeah, we should talk further. So thank you.
Thank you. This was really fun. I had a great time.
Yeah. And until next time, for Lindsey Golden from the Golden Dance Experiment, this is Rob Lee for Getting to the Truth in This Art. And just remember, there's always art in Baltimore. Thank you.